The Tao Te Ching Chapter 13. In the ancient text the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu we can see that each verse is an aspect and expression of a variety of concepts of non-dual philosophy. In this video series we will look at each chapter of the Tao Te Ching sequentially. Let's listen to this verse of the poem, as beautifully translated by Stephen Mitchell, and then investigate its deeper meaning. The poem reads: Success is as dangerous as failure. Hope is as hollow as fear. What does it mean that success is as dangerous as failure? Whether you go up the ladder or down it, your position is shaky. When you stand with your 2 feet on the ground, you will always keep your balance. What does it mean that hope is as hollow as fear? Hope and fear are both phantoms that arise from thinking of the self. When we don't see the self as self, what do we have to fear? See the world as yourself. Have faith in the way things are. Love the world as yourself, then you can care for all things. Now, let's explore how this verse ties in closely with non-dualist concepts. Unity beyond duality. Success is as dangerous as failure. This idea challenges the dualistic notion of success and failure as inherently separate and opposing concepts. From a non-dual perspective, success and failure are seen as part of a unified whole. By asserting that success can be dangerous, the verse encourages us to transcend attachment to success, recognizing that it can have a downside just like failure. It can lead to arrogance, complacency, and disconnectedness. Likewise, failure can sometimes have an unexpected upside, and many failures may be required before success in some ventures is reached. Emptiness of dual emotions. Hope is as hollow as fear. Non-dual philosophy seeks to transcend dualistic emotions, such as hope and fear, which stem from attachment to outcomes and the self. By saying that hope and fear are both hollow, the verse highlights their misleading nature. In a non-dual view, both hope and fear arise from a dualistic perception of self and other, and they both support the strivings and concerns of a distinct, separate individualized self, the ego. Balancing opposites. What does it mean that success is as dangerous as failure? This question invites reflection on the relationship between perceived opposites. It encourages us to recognize that clinging to one side of a duality inevitably leads to imbalance and potential pitfalls. In a non-dual context, success and failure are seen as 2 sides of the same coin. And the verse prompts us to find a harmonious middle path. Transience and essence. Whether you go up the ladder or down it, your position is shaky. This statement underscores the impermanence and instability of external circumstances. Regardless of whether we're perceived as moving up or down. Non-dual philosophy emphasizes the unchanging essence beyond transient phenomena, inviting us to shift our focus from external achievements to inner awareness. rooted in the unchanging. When you stand with your 2 feet on the ground, you will always keep your balance. This image represents a grounded, centered state of being. In a non-dual framework, balance is achieved by transcending the fluctuations of the mind and recognizing the unchanging essence of existence. Egoic illusions unveiled. Hope and fear are both phantoms that arise from thinking of the self. This line exposes the illusory nature of hope and fear, revealing that they originate from a sense of self. Non-dual philosophy aims to dissolve the boundaries of self and other, leading to a state beyond attachment and aversion. Dismantling the illusion of self. When we don't see the self as self, what do we have to fear? This question challenges the very foundation of fear by inviting us to contemplate the nature of the self. Non-dual thought posits that the egoic self is an illusion, and in realizing this, the root of fear is dismantled. Unconditional love. See the world as yourself. Have faith in the way things are. Love the world as yourself, then you can care for all things. These lines embody the essence of non-duality by urging us to dissolve the boundaries between self and the world. In non-dual philosophy, the self is not seen as separate from the external world, but rather, intimately, interwoven within it. When we view the world as an extension of ourselves, we cultivate a deep sense of connectedness and empathy. Having faith in the way things are, reflects acceptance of the present moment. Without judgment or resistance, a fundamental aspect of non-dual awareness. The instruction to love the world as one loves oneself, underscores the idea that love and care should extend universally. Breaking down the distinctions between self and other. This unconditional love and care are the natural outcomes of a non-dual perspective, where the division between subject and object dissolves, and we realize our inherent oneness with all of existence. In summary, the verse from Stephen Mitchell's translation of the Tao Te Ching promotes ideas of non-duality, by challenging dualistic thinking, emphasizing the relatedness of opposites, and encouraging a shift in perspective from the egoic self to a holistic, unified awareness. If you take one message from this verse, it is this. Release attachments to dualistic notions and embrace the unity and balance inherent in all aspects of life. This verse advises us to let go of rigid distinctions between opposites like success and failure, hope and fear, and instead, recognize their connectedness, and the balance they create in our lives. By shedding attachments to dualistic thinking and judgment, we can free ourselves from suffering, and find harmony in the inherent unity of existence. This message encourages us to cultivate a mindset that embraces life's complexities, and seeks equilibrium rather than favoring one extreme over another. Ultimately leading to a more peaceful and balanced way of being. Thanks for watching.